Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over the team leader's new Shadow Pokemon as well as Giovanni, and then going up against them. Unfortunately, I was not able to find Cliff in the blimp, and we're gonna not be able to go up against him because, well, that's just by chance. Been running into the other ones here. So we have this awesome graphics design done by Legends. I will have links to their Twitter so you can check them out and get this image yourself. So Giovanni in the blimp is going to have Persian. Then for that number 2 spot, Doug Trio, Garchomp, or Nidoking. And then for the third spot, of course, Shadow Suicune. Now, those are the recommended Pokemon that they're suggesting to use. Now, you can use Ice for the middle spot. You're going to be perfectly fine. If you're trying to do 1500 CP and under, well, that's going to be a different story, which we're going to do, a one and done. We'll take a look at that. But if you're using maxed out Pokemon, you're not going to really have too much trouble. Honestly, I feel like Sierra is going to be a little bit more difficult, as we're going to see here, with a potential double Lapras. One in the beginning and in the middle, which we're also going to encounter. So for their second image here, let's go ahead and take a look at the team leaders to see what we do have going on. For Cliff, that number 1 spot is going to be a Grimer, so you can get yourself a Shadow Shiny Grimer potentially. Number 2 spot is going to be Electivire, Machamp, or Omnistar. Then that number 3rd spot is going to be Tyranitar, Swampert, or Torterra. And again, the recommended Pokemon there. And then going down to Sierra, you have Lapras in that number 1 spot. So potentially a Shiny Shadow Lapras if you do get lucky. Number 2 spot, Lapras again, potentially. And then Exeggutor and or Sharpedo. For that 3rd spot, you have Houndoom, Alakazam, and Shiftry. Now, one Pokemon that comes to mind that's going to be great up against Sierra is going to be Scrafty. Simple as that. It's going to be able to do a lot of damage to everything. But there are going to be other options going into this that are going to be doing a little bit better, just if you're looking for a challenge, right? So there you have those Pokemon. Bug types are also going to be performing great up against Sierra if she does have Alakazam or potentially Exeggutor, of course, which we're also going to be using. Going up against Arlo, he's going to have a Pico, which can be Shadow and Shiny, of course. Number 2 spot is going to be Blastoise, Charizard, or Steelix. Number 3 spot is going to be Scizor, Salamence, or Dragonite. Now, if you hear some weird sounds in the back, some sniffing or scratching around, that's going to be Athena. I almost called her Sierra, just around up here with me, so just disregard that. But anyway, so you have Cliff here. Pretty decent lineup. For the middle, I found Stunfisk working out pretty good if you're looking for that 1500 CP challenge. And this is going to be the list of the tasks that you're going to need to complete to get that Super Rocket Radar to go up against Giovanni in the blimp, right? And they also have a rocket kind of deal in the shop, which is going to be pretty good because alone the radars are going to be 200 in this box that comes with 4 is going to be 480 coins. So I would say pretty good deal if you're looking to get those, although you're going to have a bunch of rocket grunts out tomorrow that you're going to be able to collect components quite easily. And remember, trainers, tomorrow, Sunday, July 12th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't forget to TM away frustration on the Pokemon that you want to potentially use Shadow in the PvE or PvP. All right, so going up against Arlo here, we're going to use our Marwile. Actually, you know, the Shadow one. We're not going to have it equipped, so let's just see what happens here. I'm not going to equip any of the best buddies that I'm going to be using. Let's see what Marwile can do. Going up against the Steelix, our Fire Fang is going to be super effective. It is vamped up pretty good. But that Steelix with that CB coming from these rocket leaders is just incredibly strong. So yeah, we go down pretty quick. In goes the Stunfisk, and we're taking those quick moves like a champ. Stunfisk is going to be able to spam this thing. Take a look at that damage. Not very much, right? You would think that we're going to maybe potentially go down, but since the quick move on the Steelix is doing barely any damage, and it's going to be pausing after we get off a charge move every single time, and we're able to spam these at an extreme rate, we're going to be able to potentially take this thing out here. I think I may get a little greedy, or we have a couple of shields. I think that's another battle. All right, so we're shielding that up. They're freezing. We're going to be farming up a little bit more and going for another one. No, this thing is actually going to be able to take it down. And I do believe I want to just go in here with Charizard and gain a little bit of energy. Not that I really needed to do this. There is going to be a Scizor in the back, and this Blast Burn is just going to do devastating damage. And we're going to be able to basically one-shot it and take it out with the Charizard. All right, folks, let's see. Are we able to get ourselves a shiny Pico? Let's see what we're going to have. And yep, get 8 balls. It is not shiny. That's all right. Honestly, I didn't really care. I just wanted to complete these as fast as possible. or at least just battle them so I can showcase them to you guys. Of course, they're going to have different potential moves or Pokemon, So we'll just continue to do this and maybe even challenge ourselves a little bit more. I didn't want to get too crazy with the challenges because unlike the Pokestops where the leaders are going to be residing, you don't need to really rush it because they're going to be there until 8 p.m., right? But for these blimps, I do believe there is a timer of about 30 minutes from when you do start to battle them. I could be wrong, but personally it has happened to me before, so I didn't want to risk it. Now, something else to take note of is the fact that you're not going to be able to find these new Rocket Shadow Pokemon lineups at the Pokestops. You're going to have to actually battle them through the blimp. So we're actually going to be using our 1500 CP. No, definitely not. All right, these are just regular CP Pokemon here. So I think I just wanted to showcase this so you can see exactly, how this is going to work, what kind of Pokemon you can use. Now, I do have the Water Gun version, and that is going to be a lot easier than using Venusaur. I don't even think you're going to be able to use Venusaur. I mean, you can, but those ice moves are just going to absolutely destroy it. So when I do come across it, I'll figure out what I can do and maybe even just give myself a bigger challenge with the 1500, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do that with a double Lapras. Sounds a bit crazy. Alright, so we're able to build up enough energy to get off a Sludge Bomb onto the Exeggutor here. As you can see, Venusaur works great if it does have Water Gun, of course. And then we're going to go in here with Yanmega, doing a ton of damage, being that Psychic and Grass type. And in comes the Houndoom. We're just going to go for the Bug Buzz here that we did build up. And we're just going to continue on because we're locked in here. Let it take us down. Go back in here with Scrafty. And we're going to be able to finish off Sierra here with the super effective Fighting type damage onto that Dark type. Alright, so like we discussed, and we actually made a complete, video about this, separate, going over the fact that the team leaders for Valor, Mystic, and Instinct, as well as the Rocket leaders, all have Pokemon that can potentially Mega Evolve. Did you see that Houndoom, as well as the others? It's looking good, guys. I do believe that they're going to potentially Mega Evolve in the future and give us even more so of a challenge. Can you imagine a Mega Evolve Pokemon from one of these Rocket leaders that is going to have an increased CP boost? That just sounds absolutely insane. But hey, I'm totally down for the challenge. Alright, so moving it on to the next one here. Going up against Sierra again. And then after this one, we're going to take a look at me going up against Giovanni. One and done with 1500 CP and under. So that's going to be pretty fun. And then catching our Shadow Suicune. So 1500 CP for this run here. We have Water Gun. Or not 1500. Sorry. That's not true. I thought we were going to do that because I was getting a little nervous. I didn't want to keep trying to do all kinds of different combos, and before I knew it, the time was going to be up. The Genesect is in fact going to be under 1500, but the Scrafty and the Venusaur are going to be normal. So yet again, got lucky. Quite amazing. Still a Water Gun on the Lapras here, so we're going to be able to just go in here with Venusaur and put in work. I am pretty sure this one is going to have another Lapras right behind it. Pretty crazy how they did make that. So there is going to potentially be two Lapras here, just like this. So we're going to be able to build up a bunch of energy and going for another Frenzy Plant. We built up so much that we're going to be able to go for another one here and do a ton of damage. Can we get to another one? Yes, we can. Wow, that's amazing. So we're able to take out both of the Lapras, of course, that have Water Gun with a single Venusaur. And then they do have a Shifter in the back, and we're just going to go in here with our 1500 CP Genesect and just put in Bug type work because of the Dark and Grass type being extremely weak to Bug moves. And we're just going to go in here with Scrafty and just finish it off with Quick Moves, and we're going to call that a day on Sierra. Now, I am battling them as frequently as I can. I do have Rocket radars lined up and ready to go, so I can, when they do show up and maybe bring you guys some more different, I don't know, ideas as to how to take them out like I used to do. Man, we really went to town on the Rocket leaders back in the day, didn't we? Had a lot of fun, and you have to have your timing perfectly. Anyways, no Shadow Lapras, that's perfectly fine. Moving it on to the boss man himself. Folks, let's see what we have here. We're going to catch ourselves a Shadow Suicune. Alright, and it's rainy, so it is going to be weather boosted CP. I'll take it. Alright, so here we go. I was waiting quite a while for this, probably like, I don't know, 3 hours or so. I wasn't so bad. I was about to head out and start just, driving around to see if I can just make it appear, but it finally showed up at my house, so great. So everything under 1500 CP, starting it off with the Cloyster here, and going in with the Probopass. Now, I make a very big and crucial mistake, as we're going to see here, wasting a ton of energy. I certainly thought I was going to have to start over, but I just continued on because I don't really like backing out from these rocket bosses or leaders. As I'm in the middle, I like to just play it out and lose, and then I can just hit rematch. But you'll see here in just a moment. So another thing that's happened to somebody else that was telling me on Twitter, make sure you kind of pay attention to this. When they did go into the catch screen for the Shadow Suicune, their inventory was full for their Pokemon, and they were not able to catch it. When he backed out, the blimp flew away. Now, somebody else told me that restarting your app and waiting a minute, it could potentially show back up, but a few people responded and said that that did not happen for them. Not saying that that guy's wrong or anything, but just make sure your inventory for Pokemon has space before you go into Giovanni and catch them. And also make sure your gacha is not going to fill it right back up, or your Go Plus or whatever, and then you're going to have the same issue. Now, did you see all that energy wasted on the Cloyster? That was pretty bad, but I was like, you know what, let's just continue on here. There is no bubble on the Suicune, so it is doing quite a bit of damage for neutral, and I was thinking, this is looking possible. Let's just continue on here. Can we do a one and done? And we're able to get to another Frenzy Plant, and yes, we're able to do it, guys. Awesome, let's go. Giovanni is completed. Another number added to the badge, waiting to get the complete suit here in, I don't know, over a year, right? Anyways, we are in the Suicune catch screen here. Cannot be shiny, so don't expect it to be. But hey, I'm happy with this weather boosted one. So if you did enjoy this video, folks, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget the event tomorrow, starting at 11 p.m. until 2 p.m. local time. TM frustration off those shadow Pokemon. Take care, trainers.